Will had his first crash in the car. Can you guess what happened? Somebody forgot to take it out of gear before he started it. And now, luckily, all that happened was the sawhorse got hit. And he broke the sawhorse. No big, huge deal at all. There's a little scratch on the bumper, but that's it. But all the stuff that was underneath it all kept it from coming down and onto the car. So it was still up above the car because the car is so low. So we got really lucky with that. But yeah, no real damage. I'll just go get a new sawhorse and throw it under there and it'll be like it never happened. So, yeah, he felt really bad, but I mean, there wasn't anything wrong. Nothing happened. So we are all good. All right, well, we're switching this out, and upon further inspection, we had a little more damage than originally thought. So, oh well, no big deal. But we'll get the sawhorses out. I got 2 new sawhorses, and we'll put the top back on. Oh, that broke. But that's okay. We'll let it slide. So, yep, there's the sawhorse. All right, so we just got to get the sawhorses out and put everything kind of back, and we'll be good to go. So here's the front of the car. So I don't think anything really happened to it. I don't know, there's one little nick right there, but I mean, that could have been something flying up. Something flying up. There's a couple of little marks right here on the bumper, but other than that, there's nothing wrong with the car. So I think we are okay. All right, so today we are going to work on these mats. So I don't know if you remember in the previous video, I had taken some of this Flex Seal and I had sprayed it on there hoping that it would kind of seal it and make it a little rubbery and everything. And as you can see, it's just flaking off now. So what I am going to try now, because you know I love my Flex Seal, is I am going to try some of this Flex Seal liquid and I'm going to try to roll it on. This will be a little more rubbery. This is what I used inside the battery tray and underneath the car and all that. So I'm going to try to roll that on and see if that will make this a little more stiff. The problem I was running into is this is the driver's side one over here. Since it wasn't real sticky, the mat was sliding and it kept sliding up into the area where the pedals were. So we ended up having to just take this completely out. So I need something that's going to be a little more sticky, maybe a little more rough, that can dig into the carpet just a little bit to help it from sliding. So I'm hoping if I have this and it has little peaks and everything, it might help it from sliding a bit. So we're going to try that. All right, so we got them all taped off as best we can. And this actually is, I think it's going to help keep it a little flatter too. So we'll just pour the stuff in the dish and we'll get rolling. All right, well, there's one coat. This is the passenger side. It like literally just went right through, so I'm worried that it got onto the black on the other side. We'll see once that dries. I'll lift it up. If it didn't, I'll try to put a second coat on. Passenger side seemed to do okay. I think if I were to do this again, I would probably spray it with the Flex Shot or the Flex Seal, the spray, to get it to cover, and then let that just dry, and then put the liquid on. Because this, when I started rolling it across, it just flaked all the white spray that I had put down before. It just flaked it all off and took it up, so it wasn't really sealed at all. So we'll have to wait and see. So we'll have to let that just dry, and then we'll see. All right, so it's been a couple of days now, and this is dried. Feels a little more rubbery. We're going to go ahead and peel it off. We're going to see how the other side looks. This one for the passenger side, not nearly as good, but better than what it was. But see, it's still cracking. So I wonder if the same thing is even going to happen even with this stuff. See, it kind of just flaking off. It's weird. I would have thought that it would have been rubbery and it would have stayed rubbery, but maybe because it's not solid. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and pull this off, see how the other side looks. All right, so the driver's side looks good. It's definitely got a little more rigidity to it. So we'll put it in, we'll see how it does and see if it creeps up. If it does, I don't know, maybe I could find something that I can attach to here and then attach to the seat to keep it from sliding forward as you're driving and everything. Because that's the biggest problem with this, is it slides forward and it gets up into the pedals. So we'll go ahead and take this one off and see how this one looks. So here's the passenger side. So it's not running through to the carpet. So this kind of works. Maybe I'll try putting it on a little thicker on this side in some spots. Because like this, you could feel it's kind of really rubbery where it's thicker. It's where it was real thin that it seems to be kind of flaky. So maybe I'll just get a little bit more of it and I'll just really put it on there and we'll see. All right, so we got a few things that we're going to work on here. We're going to get the buckets back on. We got a new fuel cap. Just because I was smelling a little bit when we filled the tank up. Not much, but coming from where the tank is. So I got a new cap. We'll see if that helps. This is a cup holder for in there. We're going to try that. That's what some people have used and had success. We're going to get the fuel rail cover back on. I got to put this back on and get the spark plug wires back in that one. And we got a new problem. The fan has got a squeak in it. So, no, she's pulling in. So, we've got to look at that fan. Okay, so we had a problem with the squeaky motor. So I just threw some WD-40 in there. There's a shaft that runs across inside. And that took care of the squeak for now, so we'll have to wait and see. But what I learned was while the car is on, that motor never turns off. So even though you have the dial inside turned to 0, it never actually turns off. There's still a little bit of power that goes to it. So it's always running. And the only reason I realized that was because it was squeaking. I was like, oh, what the heck's that squeak, as I was driving the car. And then I turned the blower off, the fan off, and I still heard the squeaking, went underneath, and I could hear it squeaking from there. I'm like, well, it shouldn't be squeaking at all because the motor shouldn't be running because it's off. But according to the wiring diagrams and everybody on the groups, thank you very much, it always has power going to it. It always is going to run just a little bit. So that is what was going on with that. We got the fuel cap on. We got the fuel rail on. We got the buckets back on the headlights. So that is it for under here.